you want to make the Rebbe big for this once we're all muted?
Yeah. Once he starts.
Where's your mouse? You could just be using a mouse. You wouldn't have to go through here.
All right. All right, Sam, will you do me a favor? Can you put the link again to the Haggadah? So that anyone who joined just and didn't get that from the chat.
But I can't hear you.
From Bet Aleph, they can download it now. And I think it's time to mute everybody and to get started. If you want to put your screen now on speaker view, you do go up to the right, the up corner of your, and put it on speaker view. And we're going to get started. I'm immediately with
Very nice, yeah.
welcome to everybody who is joining us tonight, either on Facebook right now or joining us via our stream on Facebook. I got to tell you, this is a huge leap for us. We have really literally transformed Bet Aleph Meditative Synagogue, our synagogue, into a internet sensation over the last weeks. So it's been really a lot of work, a lot of people, a lot of collaboration that has helped us to get us to this point. And I just want to express first and foremost gratitude to all of you who are continue to work behind the scenes. I want to just thank Sam McKagan, who is the technical MC tonight, and she's gonna work us through anybody's issues and problems and making sure everybody's part of this. She's going to be the one who's going to click that button that is going to assign each of you to a little group for our group conversations and group for our group dinner. I'll say more of that in a moment. There's also, I think on this, Katie works for us, one of our staff at Bet Aleph, who has really walked us, held my hand and me through how do we remain online, and how can Bet Aleph best serve the people it's meant to serve during those difficult times. So I just want to and thank all of those who have worked behind the scenes. Also Karen, our executive director, who has done an amazing amount of work to get us here. And here we are. There are so many of us on this call, so many more watching this on Facebook, and it's really a gift that that we can give each other. So here's a few announcements on how this is going to work tonight, so that we all can rest and have fun and relax. But I'm going to start with just letting you know that there's a lot of things we are doing through Zoom and through Facebook Live. Tomorrow night, you are all invited to join us again in our living room. This is my family's living room. This is my daughter here as well. And tomorrow night at 7 p.m., there's an email that is going to go out and reach your inbox tomorrow morning. And you can click on the link there and join us at 7 p.m. Seattle time. We're going to share with you lighting the candles for Shabbat, a few blessings. And also we're going to count the second day of the Omer tomorrow. So 7 p.m. Seattle time, join us tomorrow. I'm leading meditations Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at noon. We call it the midday meditation for 30 minutes. And you can join that as well. If you want to know more about that, email info@BetAleph, and we'll share the link for that as well with you. And it's been really great. We've been doing this for 2 or 3 weeks now, 30 minutes in the middle of the day to just kind of take a break, breathe, and become, get through our day more mindfully. So I hope everybody had the time to download the Passover Haggadah. We will walk through the Haggadah to get us out of Egypt step by step by step. And we're glad that you had all that time to mingle with each other and say hello to those you haven't seen for a while. This is also what community is about. I'm excited you were able to do that. There are ways to send personal email, little text messages on the Zoom platform. You can look at that in your platform. You have a chat button at the bottom of the screen, right in the middle, and you can select who you want to send a little note to. And you can do that privately without letting the whole group know. There's 91 computers on. We can assume there's about 250 people on this call right now. So you might not want to share whatever you want to share with everybody. As we're doing right now, we're going to spend a lot of the time tonight while everybody's microphone is on mute. This is just so that we can hear each other, to avoid the background noise, and to give room for some of our people that are on the call right now who have volunteered to read parts of the Haggadah together tonight, so that we can all hear each other and move along as smoothly as we can. We will unmute everyone when it's time to share the blessings, when it's time to we're going to try to share some of the songs together, specifically when we chant the different stages of the Seder. But understand that the way this is set up, because it's online, there's a time delay in our as the sound carries. So you will feel that when we say the blessings, you might have some voices that are staggered. So it look very like a beautiful cacophony of people just sharing together. And it's just what we do in community these days. If you have difficulties along the way with your connection or whatever, with your Zoom, Sam McKagan, all right now, you can chat with her privately and share with her what you are experiencing. She's right now, as I am talking, going to type in the chat room what is the best way to connect with her if there is any issue you might have, whether you are on the call or you've been kicked out of the call or whatever the case may be. Good. I would recommend everybody shift to the speaker's view in order to facilitate your ability to listen and participate. And most importantly, just to look at me. I mean, it's really the most important part of the Seder. Okay, so this is the time where we're going to dedicate a few minutes of the Seder to randomly assign you to a group. This will be a group made probably of 4 computers, something like that. And we don't know who you're going to be paired with. And we're going to give you the 5-6 minutes to introduce yourself to we're going to call it your virtual table tonight. This is going to be the group that you're going to come back to. There are several times during the Seder where I'm going to ask a question, something to discuss in breakout rooms. So that's going to be your group. And it's also the group you're going to be sharing the 30 minutes we have dedicated for dinner. So again, that's your table for dinner, and you can continue whatever conversations is left undone, unfinished during the dinner as well. So Sam, are you ready to do this? Here we go. Introduce yourself to your group and say hello.
And I'll just say, I'm going to put you all in rooms. You should automatically go to a room. And then when you have 1 minute left, you'll see a thing flash across the screen that says 1 minute. And there was a few requests for people to be together, and I have done my best. But message me if I got something wrong. And here. Yeah,
I understand that because there are 300 people, there's no way for us to put people together. And in fact, we love the randomness of things. Yes. So just meet whomever is going to be with you and journey with them. And sometimes it's the best to meet new people.
Okay, and here we go. The Bernard. Oh, yes. Everyone went to breakout rooms. Hooray. And if you're watching on Facebook Live, then you should be doing whatever you're doing. Hi, Philip, welcome. We just assigned everybody to breakout rooms, and I'm about to send you to a breakout room to have a discussion with some people. So let me just, oh no, I can't send you to a breakout room in the middle. Figure out how to do that. There we go. Yeah, okay, I can. I'm about to assign you. And Philip, you're muted, so you'll need to unmute yourself when you go into your room. And Sharon, did you just join? Are you, you are also muted, so I can't hear you. So I'm not sure what's going on there. And if anybody's just joining us on Facebook, everybody's having small group discussions. Welcome. Who just joined us on the phone? You're muted, so I can't hear you. Hopefully you can figure out how to unmute yourself. Oh, I see. Oh, you don't have a speaker. Sorry, I just saw, Sharon, I just saw you in the chat saying you don't have a speaker. All right, you're also welcome to just call in on the phone. And I can put in instructions for how to do that if you'd like to call in on the phone, and then you can talk if you want.
Was it fun cutting up the chicken? Not really, but. A lot of fun cutting up the fish.
Hi, Shoshana, welcome. We're in breakout rooms, and I'm going to send you to the room that my kids are in. You are muted still, Shoshana, so you'll have to figure out how to unmute yourself. Okay, and if you're joining us on Facebook, we're doing breakout rooms now, small groups, and we will all be back soon. And I'm going to go help someone in a breakout room, and you guys all on Facebook might have to come with me. Welcome back, everybody. We're still waiting for more people to come back. If there was any, so because I assigned you all randomly, some groups may have had more or fewer than other people. So if there was people that didn't have enough people or had too many people or something in your breakout room, just send me a message and let me know. Or you can ask me now because we're, oh wait, no, you can't ask me now because you're all muted. Actually, I'm gonna unmute.
Back, everybody. All had the chance.
Hi, Phil and Cam.
Hi, Phil and Cam.
Hi.
You all had the chance.
Hi.
Hey.
What just passed? What's this?
Yes, in just a second.
Wow. Killing Cam.
Mute everybody, that'll be great.
We are.
That was great.
We can get started.
And
All right, I'm here.
yeah, so when I mute everyone, I also mute the rabbi. So when I mute someone, you have to kind of wait a second for me to mute everyone and then unmute you.
All right. All right, so everybody, we have your Haggadah. We are starting on page 4. So please turn to page 4. And we're going to read together where it says all, and it started with here I am. So Sammy's going to unmute everybody.
Oh no, unmute all. Okay.
All right, everybody join me. Here I am. Ready in body,
Mind,
Spirit.
engaged spiritual practice.
Spiritual practice. Reading the Passover Haggadah.
Reading the Passover Haggadah, during the Exodus from Egypt for the sake of unifying the Holy One of Blessing, transcendent energies of divine masculine, Shekinah, energies of the divine feminine, one concealed and hidden in the name of all Israel,
in the name of all Israel and all humankind.
It's not working. I'm gonna mute everybody again.
That's very loud with 91 people.
We're gonna mute everybody again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we are going to do a moment of meditation. So I'm going to invite everybody to sit back and to close your eyes and to gently breathe mindfully, so we can transition to really being present to this moment we're going to share together, that we can all be here for one another as we journey to let go of the day that was and to make a transition, to this very unique and very special holiday we get to share with each other. So see if you can release any tension in your body, for example. See if you can take a few breaths to kind of let go into the moment, to surrender into now. Good. So keep this grounding, keep this centering within you to guide us through the rest of the evening together. and turn to page 5. Now you can open your eyes and turn to page 5. There are a few members of Bet Aleph that have volunteered to walk us through the Haggadah. And Michelle, if you could start reading where it says reader on page 5.
This light that we kindle tonight supports our deeper understanding that both the light and the darkness in our lives are expressions of the greater light of being. The moments of light in our life may serve to illuminate the darkness, just as the darkness in our life can serve to support our awakening to fuller light. Our blessing encompasses both.
All right, David, the next one, where it says all. This is for David.
As we now venture out of our own Egypt, as our ancestors ventured before us and future generations will venture after us, the light we kindle on this night lights our way through the wilderness about to be and supports our awakening to the promised land, already awaiting within us.
So if you have candles next to you, I'll invite you now to light your candles as I am doing right now. And if you don't have candles, just consider my kindling these candles, those candles being kindled on your behalf. I'm going to give it a little bit of boost. Okay, you can see them right here. So we're going to unmute everybody now, and we're all going to say the blessing together. And remember that there is a special melody for Passover, so the blessing is different than the one you would know normally. Join me.
Stand still.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yisrael Blessed one, you are the emptiness that manifests as form, the source of all that is. Sanctify us
through our performing holy deeds.
Let's practice
Kindling light of Shabbat, of the festival.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. We're going to stay with everybody's mic. We're going to sing the song, The Order of the Seder. If you know the song, join me now. Good. So we are all now of page 7. And we're going to sing together the first of all the orders of the Seder that is at the top of the page. We're all going to say Kadesh together.
Kadesh.
Kadesh. Good. Now we're going to mute everybody. And while this is happening, we are asking you if you are if there's more than one person in your household, you have to pour the other person some wine or some grape juice, whatever you have, to the other person's cup. If you don't have, consider what is happening right now. Be somebody pouring in your cup, even though it's you doing it with and to yourself. You're gonna mute everybody for now.
That's good.
Where that was that, I had it pulled up, you have it all the way to the.
All right, Sam, if you can mute everybody, we're gonna continue reading together. So I'm gonna call Abby.
No, she did it.
Abby.
Yeah.
Abby Cookin to read where it says reader on this night on page 7.
On this night, we share in blessings over 4 cups of wine. Each cup corresponds to the 4 divine promises of liberation found in Torah. Therefore say to the children of Israel, I am Adonai. I will bring you out from beneath the burdens of Mitzrayim. I will deliver you from servitude to them. I will redeem you with an outstretched arm, with great acts of judgment. I will take you for me as a people, and I will be for you a God. And you shall know that I am Adonai, your God, who brings you out from beneath the burdens of Mitzrayim.
All right, Julia, next one.
We find in Torah yet another divine promise in the next verse. The 5th promise of liberation, the cup of Elijah, the prophet. Elijah is the one who announced the advent of the Messianic era, a time when humankind will finally reach Messianic consciousness, the promised land of humanity's spiritual evolution. I will bring you out into a land over which I lifted my head and an oath to give it to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. I will give it to you as a possession. I am God.
Wonderful. Kate, continue.
The verse that follows in Torah points to our current challenge. But when Moses told this to the Israelites, they could not hear him, their spirits crushed by cruel bondage. The Hasidic masters teach that the darkest depth of enslavement is when we have grown accustomed to it. We then no longer know we are enslaved.
Do you want to read the quote from Harriet Tubman?
Oh yeah, that's a great quote. I could have saved thousands more if I could have convinced them they were slaves.
Good. So let's open it up right now. Let's talk together in our. We're gonna open it to our separate groups for short conversation, just a few minutes, and let's talk about, you know, I was gonna say the elephant in the room, but in this case, the elephant in the Zoom. There's a great book by one author that I've really grown to really love, Yuval Harari, who wrote several books at this point. And one of his books talks about how throughout history, human beings have lived into different stories, into different narratives that we have inhabited. And through time, those narratives have evolved, but each time we become part of a specific narrative that basically guides really our life, our consciousness, how we behave with each other, the norms of the societies we create together. Very powerful book. Today we inhabit a narrative that is about 300 years old, that was born out of what's called modernity. And we, as the quote we just read mentions, we have grown accustomed to it. It has brought us great benefits, great advances. It has really been a promised land for us. And the story in the Torah of how we got to Egypt is really remarkable, because if you know the story of the Exodus, when we came down to Egypt, was because we were suffering greatly. There was famine in the land of Canaan, where we had been dwelling for a while with Jacob and his sons. and we looked for a place of refuge. We looked for a place to move to so that we could survive. And when we arrived in Egypt, when we met Joseph, who had been there for now a few decades and had grown to be second in command to Pharaoh, Joseph, one of the sons of Jacob, gave his brothers and his father the best in the land of Egypt. When we arrived in Egypt, it was a promised land for us. And what happens is that it says in the beginning of the book of Exodus, we loved it. We stayed in Egypt. We became wealthy. We acclimated ourselves. We made ourselves fit in the land. We had, like the idiom in Torah is be fruitful and multiplied, and that's exactly what we did. And really, it was a time of great wealth and abundance for us. And it always reminds me of where we are right now, right? This narrative into which we have bought that has brought us, at least some of us, great wealth and abundance, the ability to hold Passover Seder in this context. And what happened in the story of the Exodus is that we lost consciousness. When things are fine in our lives, we do not spend too much time on matters of the soul. And the story, as we just read, Moses got into Egypt and told us it's time to leave. And like we just read, we could not hear him. We could not hear him. The idiom in Hebrew is from kotzer ruach, from a disconnect, a spiritual disconnection. We could not hear him. We were just caught into the life we lived there. And it feels that we are here, even though the world in which we live, has brought us great harshness. I mean, it's really a struggle for most of us in this society in which we live to make ends meet, and especially in this dark times that we are facing now. And kind of the same idea of what we lived through when Pharaoh imposed upon us harsh labor, right? It's the same kind of idea. There's great disparity in this land, just like there was in the land of Egypt, where the family of Pharaoh and the elite of the Egyptians had their wealth completely concentrated in their hands, and the rest of us, the 99%, really suffered to just survive every day. There is also the complete destruction of our environment, of our natural habitat. There is now a great pandemic that is ravaging this planet, that is killing thousands upon thousands of people everywhere around the globe. So my question for us to discuss is the following. Have we reached, where are we right now in this moment in history with what we know is unraveling in front of us? Maybe our democracy, our planets, obviously the pandemic is ravaging people all over the world. Are we like the frog in the story that is going to not see the death ahead because it can withstand the slow cooking that is happening around itself? Or are we going to be shocked by in fact what's happening around us right now, that we're going to want to jump out, and we're really going to want to leave this Egypt that we might find ourselves? I don't know where this is, but what is this moment in history? Where are we, and what is our role, and what is our place in this? And where do we see this going? Are we going to let ourselves slowly cook in the slow boil of the water like the frog, or are we going to jump, and is something else going to unfold from this moment forward? So Sam, I'm going to ask you to bring everybody back for a few minutes in their respective room at their respective table, and to and discuss where they see this going.
How long are we going to have?
We're going to have at least, we need a good 10 minutes for that. 10 minutes for that.
Okay, and a few of you contacted me with technical problems of having some of your cells put in different rooms or not enough people in your room. I think I fixed them, so some of you will be going to different rooms. If I messed it up, just let me know. And here we go. Hillary, I see that you are not in a room. I'm not sure why, but you're muted and have no video. So I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you. And if you want to send me a message, maybe I can figure out what's going on. And if you're joining us on Facebook, we are having small group discussions, and we'll be back soon. Oh, you're on a second Zoom call. Okay, got it. No problem. No problem. Okay, I understand. That is great. So the one person who is here is having another conversation. And so I will mute myself and put up a message for people on Facebook.
How was this finished? Was it good?
All right, what were we supposed to talk about?
It was a bit unclear.
Was it?
Well, I think it was kind of like, in what ways are we getting used to our slavery? In what ways are we the frog in the water? Perhaps.
As a socialist, I believe capitalism is that, right? Like, capitalism can't sustain itself. It's going to destroy the environment. It's going to destroy us. And we can't even imagine anything other than that.
That's a great point.
So what do we do about that?
Elect a socialist would be a good start.
A lot of socialists.
What did you say?
A lot of socialists.
Yeah, right. Not just the president.
Yeah.
What isn't it supposed to be personal though? Anyone want to talk about their personal?
Their personal
slaveries?
stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Not that you don't have to. Just
yeah.
It just feels less stressful and depressing than capitalism.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe it's too hard to even go there because you're so.
I have a lot of my self-worth wrapped up in how much money I make.
Oh, I've got somebody I've got to let in.
That's hard.
Like, I intellectually know it doesn't mean anything, but.
Hello. Susan, you are muted. And I see that you're trying to talk. And I see that Maxine just joined. Susan, do you see in the lower left corner of your screen, there's a little microphone? Can you, oh wait, no, I can unmute you. Hey.
I'm unmuted now.
Okay, now I hear you. Okay, great.
But what happened is my, when I came to the small group, my picture didn't show up. And so that's why I was in a small group with Josh and Kate. Can you put me back there?
Yeah, I think so. Can I send you back there?
Josh and Kate.
Hi, Matt. Yeah, let me see.
And I think Naomi, Josh.
Oh, yeah, I see you. Do you see an option on your computer to send yourself back? Because I'm not sure how to actually send you back. Let's see.
I'm on an iPad, so and that usually works really well for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't actually see how to send you back. Maxine, we are having small group discussions right now. So most people are in small groups, and actually I will just send you to small group.
Susan Hoffman with her.
Oh, you want me to, okay, let me see if I can find her.
Yeah, I was listening on the Facebook.
Oh, cool.
So now
Okay.
I'm here.
Awesome. Okay. And it looks like the other Susan figured out how to send herself back.
Great, because the Read the Help Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, I called her. So to tell her I was delayed.
Yeah, let me
Still
figure
delayed.
out how to send you.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
So I'm going to assign you to group 3, and there you should go. Hopefully. Did it?
She froze, so that's a good sign. Great.
Okay.
and not.
I can imagine. My gosh.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. We're going to continue with Kiddush. Kate, who was just reading, will lead us through the Kiddush. We are in the middle of page 9. Kate, just wait a second until Sam can find you and unmute you.
If you're about to read or lead something, it helps me a lot if you can raise your hand so I can find you. Okay, there is. All right, Kate, you are unmuted, and then I will highlight you so everyone can see you. Okay.
Okay, all right. Okay.
All right, page 9.
Yes. We ready?
Yes.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'am, v'romamanu mikol lashon, v'kidshanu b'mitzvotav. V'titen lanu Adonai Eloheinu ba'ahava, moedim l'simcha, hagim uzmanim l'sason. Et yom chag hamatzot hazeh, zman henutenu, mikra kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim. Ki vanu bacharta, veotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim. Umoade kodshecha, basimcha uvsason, inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh Yisrael v'hazmanim.
We continue right at the top of page 10. Before we drink, we said the Shehechianu together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehechianu, V'imanu, Chaim, we lean to the left and we drink the first cup of wine. Good. Now, if you have Elijah's cup, we have an Elijah's cup on our table. And what we do is that pour a little bit of the leftover wine from our glass into Elijah's cup and go around the table, and everybody at the table will do that so that Elijah will have at the end of the Seder. And while that happens, we can unmute everyone. And we're gonna chant together. Ready?
Yeah, we just
That didn't work out really well. Let's try it again. Ready, everybody? So we're going to symbolically water hands. Blessing for that. Just what we do times on each hands. All right, then we're going to unmute everybody again, and we're going to all say together where it starts washing our hands. Ready? I wash and
Washing our hands, we intend to clear previous unconscious actions and motivations.
That may be obstructing us from
Pulls off whatever we are still clinging to, our slave mentality or whatever is holding us back.
Whatever we are still
or whatever is holding us back.
slave mentality or whatever is back.
again, and Diana wrote this paragraph. Hey, Diana.
I'm waiting for Sam so she can find me. The desert, providing them with water. This well was given by God to Miriam, the prophetess, to honor her bravery and devotion to the Jewish people. Both Miriam and her well were spiritual oases in the desert, sources of sustenance and healing. Her words of comfort gave the Hebrews the faith and confidence to overcome the hardships of the Exodus. Do I keep going? I will keep going.
What we
No.
You do the same thing you just pour the water. If you have a little water in your glass, all on the tape.
What is happening? Why can't I unmute him?
When everybody's on the top of page 11.
Oh dear. Something very bad is happening. Hi, we seem to be having technical difficulties, and I'm having trouble unmuting the people that need to be talking. I don't know if people can hear me. We seem to have totally lost the rabbi. So hopefully he will come back. Diana, okay, everybody can hear me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think, yeah, we can hear you. I think we lost the rabbi. Oh no, he's maybe coming back. But Diana, maybe you should continue.
All right. We hold up the glass, water, and we say the prayer, Zot kos Miriam, kos Mayim Chaim, Zecher Litziat Mitzrayim. This is the cup of Miriam, cup of living waters. Let us remember the Exodus from Egypt.
We're back.
Okay. Olivier, if you were there, oh wait, yes. Oh, Olivier just told me that his computer is frozen. So that is what's happening right now. Okay. Diana, let me unmute you again. There we go.
Okay. Actually, Joshua is the next reader in the middle of page 11. If he is present.
Let me find him.
Wave Joshua so she can find you.
Yeah, it doesn't actually help for him to wave because...
Hi, hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, my somehow computer kicked me out. Hopefully it's not going to do that to me.
I can.
So, Black, where's Josh? Is Josh here?
I don't see Josh here. Josh, if you're here, send me a private chat, because I don't see you in my list.
So we're gonna have Amalia stand in for John right now.
Okay.
We are in the middle of page 11.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
And Amalia is going to stand up in place of Josh.
I bet Josh actually, sorry, I just found Josh. He's under Rachel. That's why I got confused. Okay. You are now unmuted, Josh and Rachel, I think.
Reader of the egg, right? The egg is a symbol of springtime, fertility, and the giving of life. We are reminded of the courageous midwives who risked their own lives by refusing to comply with Pharaoh's decree that all newborn boys be murdered. The egg also shows us what the midwives experienced. The longer things are in hot water, the tougher they become. Such is the case in the oppression cooker of life. For sure.
All right.
Okay, thumbs up.
So you have Anita, because it's raised their hand.
It is the egg of birthing. When we went forth from Mitzrayim, the narrow places, it was the birth time of our people, the people of Israel. When the midwives Shiphrah and Puah saved the children that Pharaoh ordered them to kill, that was the beginning of the birth time. When Pharaoh's daughter joined with Miriam to give a second birth to Moses from the waters, she birthed herself anew into God's daughter, Bat-Yah. And our people turned to draw ourselves toward life. When God became our midwife and named us her firstborn, though we were the smallest and youngest of the peoples, the birthing began. When the waters of the Red Sea broke, we were delivered.
Very good. Here you go, Linda. Go.
So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So today we must struggle to bring to birth a world in which no Pharaoh, no leader can order the murder of children, a world in which in which not only midwives, but all the people respond to such orders by refusing, by feeling not fear of Pharaoh, but reverence toward the God who breathes all life.
There we go. Okay, and I think we have Stephanie next.
So do I start at the top of page 12?
I think we've lost the rabbi again. So I'm gonna guess, yes, you start at the top of page 12. I'm not sure.
In the Kabbalistic tradition of Rabbi Isaac Luria, the 16th century Safed, each symbol of the Seder plate corresponds to one of the Sephirot, or one of the qualities of the mystical tree of life. The three matzot represent the three higher Sephirot of the Chokhmah, wisdom, Bina, understanding, and Dat, knowledge. The shank bone points to Chesed, kindness, while the roasted egg is understood as a symbol for Gavurah, strength. Maror is connected to Tiferet, the heart space, and Choset to Netzach, endurance, and Karpas to Hod, splendor. Chazeret is assigned to the Sephirah Yasod, foundation, and the Seder place itself is viewed as Malchut, the kingdom, the Sephirah that contains all the other higher Sephirot. Do you think I should keep going?
No, I got a message from Diana that says we better stop and eat our eggs.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm trying to unmute Diana. I think I succeeded.
Yeah, you did. We're good.
We're
We
okay.
have our avocado.
That's our
Okay,
version of
right.
the egg.
So we eat the egg, and we're back to Diana because I can't find the rabbi.
Okay. Well, so
Very
we're
good,
at the
Rabbi.
bottom of page 11 where it says each participant dips an egg in the salt water before eating it. No blessing required. So we can just take a few moments and do that. And then after that, we
salt water. Yeah, that's salt.
Richard.
Wait.
Richard.
Huh?
Got that already.
Hello?
Yep.
So I don't know what's going on with my connection, but I guess my computer loved me too much. Where now? What have I missed?
Well, we're eating the, I don't know if I'm unmuted.
No,
we're eating the egg.
We are eating the egg, and we also read the first section on page 12.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we're going to eat the egg.
All right.
So now we're going to do one of the rituals, which is we're going to take the Seder plate, and we're going to, if you're here for the first time, if you're here by yourself, Amaya is going to demonstrate how to do it, but everyone will put it on your own head. And I'm going to sing, and we're adding ourselves to the Seder plate with all the ingredients on the Seder plate, the images that we too are part of the Seder plate. It's something that I was raised with. Some was part of my upbringing when I grew up in France. My grandparents were doing that every Seder, and I never knew why they did that until I created the Haggadah that we are now reading and discovered a very ancient practice that we didn't know the source after so many generations, but this is able with you. You can do it, but if you're by yourself, just lift your Seder plate and tap yourself. I'm going to sing the song 5 times. Etzmo avadim, ayom benechorim, ayom kan, b'shana haba, b'Yerushalayim. Etzmo ayinu avadim, ayom benechorim, ayom kan, b'shana haba, b'Yerushalayim. Etzmo ayinu avadim, ayom benechorim, ayom kan, b'shana haba, b'Yerushalayim. Etzmo ayom benechorim, ayom kan, b'shana haba, b'Yerushalayim. Etzmo ayinu avadim, ayom benechorim, ayom kan, b'shana haba, b'Yerushalayim. Okay, everybody, we are on page 13, and we're gonna add words to our song, the word kabas. Everybody, that would be good. We can chant. See?
This is where we lose Rabbi.
We're saying all these things. Long ways to go. Get snacks in between. It was
All right, I think we've lost the rabbi again. Diana, can I ask you to take over next?
Yep. So we are on the top of page 13, and Rich is the next reader. If you can find Rich, Sam.
Yep, got it. Rich, you are unmuted now. And
Karpash reminds us of the branch of hyssop. Okay, start over. Karpash reminds us of the branch of hyssop, dipped in lamb's blood, that marked the doors of the Israelites' houses in Egypt. As the myth tells us, God would pass over our houses so that they would be spared from the 10th plague. On the following morning, the Israelites left Egypt. Karpash can therefore be seen as a symbol of survival of the life-giving blood splattered at the very gates of our birth, of our liberation.
Thank you. Lynn Carroll is next. Find Lynn Carroll.
Working on it.
Thank you.
Lynn. Oops.
Okay.
Lynn,
Vegetables dipped in salt water also remind us of the meager meals eaten by our ancestors when they were slaves in Egypt, drenched in sweat and tears. Slavery has yet to be erased from the face of the earth. In fact, human trafficking is a worldwide growing concern. Although we may be tempted to think that human trafficking takes place only in faraway countries, it is happening today within the walls of our very cities, in our neighborhoods.
Hey, Shelley. And Shelley Oakley.
working on it. Okay, unmute. There she goes.
Beyond this heartbreaking reality, slavery also manifests in our world as the abject cycle of poverty, which has now plagued generation after generation of people on all continents as an inherited form of economic bondage. We would therefore be mistaken to believe that the sweat and tears of slaves that we taste through our Karpas ritual are those of people from a distant and no longer relevant past. They are the sweat and tears of our brothers and sisters today. We dip parsley or celery in salt water and recite the following blessing before eating it. You're going to put everybody back on?
Yes.
Priha Adama.
Diana, will you lead the prayer?
Yes. Baruch
Adonai, Eloheinu, Olam, Yireh
One, you are the emptiness that
manifest
manifests
as form,
Source of all that
that
is.
is,
source of all
of
the earth.
Fruit of the earth.
All right. Now we're going to continue on the top of page.
Oh, shoot. Sorry. Diana.
Me now?
Sorry. Now I unmute. Yeah, start over, Diana.
No worries, Sam. Thank you for juggling everything. All right, we're now at the top of page 14, and we're going to sing the Seder order song. Kadesh Urchatz Karpas Yachatz. And the next reader is Mary Ann Spiegel.
Okay. Hang on, I'm working on finding her. There she is.
Why do we break the matzah in two? We break the middle matzah and conceal one half as the afikomen. Later we will share it as in days of old, when the Passover offering itself was shared at this service in Jerusalem. Among people everywhere, sharing of bread forms a bond of fellowship. For the sake of our redemption, we say together the ancient words that join us with our own people, with all who are in need, with the wrongly imprisoned and the beggar in the street. Our redemption is bound up with the deliverance from bondage of people everywhere.
All right. So now you take the middle matzah from your plate. You break it into two parts and raise them up as the follow. So I will be the leader and I will read the next part. Is that all right? I can be heard?
Yes, please.
For generations, we have repeated the story of Passover. It is our tradition each year to reenact this process of transformation from slavery to freedom. We seek to discover, beyond the tale of our ancestors' exodus, a path to free ourselves from our own Mitzrayim and awaken to ever more loving, compassionate, and inclusive ways of being. And now Sam will unmute all of us, and I will lead in the next blessing with matzah in the air. Here we go. All right.
All right. I think I'm back for now. We'll see what happens. Thank you, Diana, for continuing to lead the service even without me. We are on top of page 15, as I understand. And keep the matzah up. Yeah. I'm a little behind, so I'm catching up. Keep your matzah up, and we say in the English, this is the bread of affliction. The bread of simplicity, which our ancestors ate in the land of Egypt. Let all who are hungry come and eat. Let all who have become estranged or alienated come and eat. All who are yearning for spirits are invited to come and celebrate the transformation that can happen at Passover. At present, we are caught in our limitations. Next year, may we expand ourselves and truly be in the land of Israel, the land of divine wrestlers. Now we are still in bonds. Next year, may we all be free. All right, so the smaller of the two pieces of matzah is placed back in between the other matzot, and the larger piece needs to be hidden if you have children at home to find the afikomen at the end of the night. We continue on page 16. And we're going to unmute everybody, and we're all going to say the 4 questions together. If you know song, let's sing together.
I think he's frozen again.
Wonderful. So I don't know who was the last reader, but you know who you are. So can you read the translation in the middle of page 16, whomever you are?
Why all other nights? On all other nights, we eat chametz and matzah. Tonight, why do we eat only matzah? On all other nights, we eat any kind of herbs. Tonight, why do we eat the bitter herbs? On all other nights, we do not dip even once. Tonight, why do we dip the greens twice? On all other nights, we eat sitting or reclining. Tonight, why do we all recline?
I'm really connecting this year with a quote from Viktor Frankl at the bottom of the page. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. I think this moment in history is in fact calling us to do exactly that, is that we are not victims of these circumstances. There is an opportunity for us to be very conscious and very aware, in fact, of the Egypt in which we find ourselves. I mean, if anything, we see that what has happened in the last few weeks, but even beyond that, even before that, what has started to unravel years before that. And today, in this moment, calls us to really respond appropriately, to not see ourselves as hopeless victims, but in fact, to take charge of our own destiny and to take charge of our own life. I've been really deeply reflecting on, what could be next? How do we get out of this Egypt? And can we get out of this Egypt? And I really see the path forward as a fork in the road. And it really, we don't know really at this point what could happen. But like Viktor Frankl is inviting us into, that we can be masters of our own destiny, that we can respond, because that freedom can never be taken from us. And in what I am seeing, the possibilities ahead of us are either we are going to fall into fear, we're going to fall into the fear of other, the fear of tomorrow, the fear of loss, the fear of not feeling ourselves taken care of. And we might, in fact, in those moments of great fear, devolve into allowing our democracy, our way of life, to be turned into a place of great darkness, where the walls between us will be raised. I mean, we already see like a little bit of that, where the states in our nation are made to compete with each other for resources to save lives. We should never be in that place. But this is the beginning of not the beginning, but the ongoing path of separation, of splitting us apart, of tearing us apart. And if the world does the same as we're doing here in the United States and raise walls between nations, we see that maybe happening in Europe right now, where the walls between nations are being raised, that Germany or France or England are decided not to support Italy or Spain, that they're on their own, like we are seeing right now. Everybody kind of is on their own. This is, to me, is the path of fear. And the path of fear will lead us back to what happened 100 years ago. In fact, in the 1920s, that led to the 1930s. And great darkness can, in fact, envelop us in the world. But there is an alternative to that. And Viktor Frankl is pointing to that alternative, that we can choose the path of the opposite of fear, which is the path of love, which is the path of seeing each other not as enemies, but as one family. That in fact, this virus that is impacting all of us is revealing to us that we are all interconnected, that we are one family. And what happens in Washington State is exactly what happens in the northern part of Italy, in Paris, in London, in India, in Russia, in North Africa, everywhere in the world. We are, in fact, that one family. And in fact, now is the time, if we can engage in this mindfully, to choose the path of love, to choose the path of collapsing the borders and the walls, and to reach our hand and say, I am in this with you. We are all in this together. We will survive together, or we will collapse together. And I believe that this is this moment. And if this Passover is inviting us into anything, is to carefully and mindfully look at what's going on around us and to choose, like Viktor Frankl say, because that is our undeniable and that can never be taken from us. You know, he wrote this when he was in the concentration camps. That's a lesson he learned from being in the darkest of the darkest places. And that's what his message was, is that even in those darkest places, we can always find the path forward and decide what life might be for us. What can we evolve to become? What can we envision this world to be now? Because it feels a lot that we have finally reached rock bottom. And it's a sad statement to make, but it might be the moment of waking up, and instead of continuing to be asleep right now. So I want to continue, in fact, with this affirmation. I see really it as an affirmation in the middle of page 17. Havadim ha'inu ata b'nei chorin. We were slaves. Is this affirmation that, you know, when we say an affirmation, we set as if what we affirm is in the future. It's not realized yet, but we're holding it as a truth for a future unfolding. And so I see this song we're going to share together as this affirmation. Though we are slaves now, we imagine ourselves right now already in this moment as freed from the unraveling around us, as having already imagined a different model for living together as humans on this planet. And that's what this is calling us to do. Yes, we are stuck. Yes, we are in a great place of stuckness right now, but this can also be the greatest opportunity for mankind. So we're going to unmute everybody, and with great gusto, I hope that we can sing this song together. Avadim Ha'inu. 1, 2, 3.
Avadim Ha'inu, Abba Mechorim, Avadim
All right, we are on page. We are on page 18, and our next reader, I think it's Michelle again. We've come full circle. We'll start at the top of the page.
4 times the Torah bids us to tell our children of the exodus from Egypt. 4 times the Torah repeats, and you shall tell your child on that day. Perhaps there really are 4 types of children, 4 types of learners. Perhaps the 4 children of the Torah are outer reflections of an inner reality, the different ways we respond to specific events in our lives.
All right, David.
Chacham Mahu Omer, the wise one, what does she say? The wise one asks, what is the meaning of the testimonies, statutes, and laws that God has commanded you? For the wise one explains the laws of the Pesach, that after eating the Pesach sacrifice, we do not eat anything.
All right. Abby.
Yeah. Rasha, Mahu Omer, the rebellious one. What does he say? The rebellious child asks in a challenging tone, what does this spiritual work mean to you? In so doing, the child excludes himself from the community, denying its essence. This child should be answered bluntly. This Passover Seder is a practice to remember and reflect upon what the Eternal manifested for me in this moment when I went out of Egypt. For me, not for him. Had he been there, he would not have been redeemed.
All right, Julia.
Come, Mahu Omer, the simple one. What does she say? The simple child asks, what is this all about? Tell her with a strong hand, the Eternal brought us out of Egypt from the house of slavery.
All right, Kate.
Who does not think to question? As for the child who does not think to question, you must open up the subject. For it is written, you shall tell your son on that day, this is on account of what the Eternal did for me when I came out of Egypt.
Good. So I want to open it for a second, and it would be the only other time for our conversation. But I'm really, it's such an important passage in the Haggadah for me this year. You know, the last line of the first paragraph at the top of the page, it talks about those 4 learners, the different ways we respond to specific events in our lives. So there's really specific events that are happening in our lives right now. And there are different ways to respond to that. We can respond wisely. We can respond rebelliously. We can be the very, the conformist and, the simple one, the conformist, and in fact, not respond at all or agree with what's going on and say, I don't have to respond, right? And we can also be the one who does not even think to question. And the one who doesn't think to question maybe maybe the one who they don't question because they checked out. They checked out from what's going on right now. They're juggling so many different jobs, and their areas of concern is so narrow just to survive. But there's also a lot of us who are simply not interested. They're checked out. They are just going on with their own lives. So the question that I have for us is, how do we see those 4 responses in our experience right now, a political experience right now, a national experience right now? Who are the wise ones? Who are the rebellious ones? Who are the conformist, simple ones? Who are those who don't question, again, because they're either checked out or too busy with surviving? And also, so that we'll be looking at it from the outside, but also, what does that look like for us on the inside? Like, where are we? Which one of the 4 might we be? So I'd like to open that, bring us all back to our little groups, and let's spend 5 minutes, because we're kind of running out of time now with all the difficulties we've had with the technology. Maybe a little more than 5 minutes, but I'm gonna watch the time carefully, and so that we can move through pretty quickly. We're almost done. We're almost there. And after that, we're gonna have a 30-minute lunch, dinner, sorry. And so we'll have more time for you to continue this conversation in your groups. So let's go for it. Sam, please, and we'll see you in a few
You can ask Peshach at dinner time what she had to say. Yeah.
Hello. I'm not sure why I'm here. I was in a different breakout room.
Oh.
Hopefully we're going back to the main meeting in a minute.
Yeah, we're bringing everybody back.
Okay, bye.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys all had a good time.
Somebody's outside. None.
Conversations. We are going. Oh, and we are on page 39 in your Haggadah, and we're going to start with a song.
39.
Said the father to his children, at the Seder you will dine. Join us. You will eat your fill of my blood. You will drink your cup of wine.
And the daughters of the
Page 17.
Number 4.
And one was wicked, was the fourth one was
Young and he was small. His brothers asked the question.
Is speak at all. That's where we are.
Of the customs of the Seder, will you please explain the cause? And the father proudly answered, as your father's age and speed, paid the Paschal and the midnight, and from slavery were freed. So we follow their example, and midnight must complete all the Seder, and we should not after 12 remain to eat. Then they sneer the sons the wicked, what does all this mean to you? And the father's voice was bitter, and his grief and anger grew. If you yourself don't consider as a son of Israel, then for you this has no meaning. You could be a slave as well. Then the simple son said simply, what is this? And quietly, the good father told his offspring, we were freed from slavery. But the youngest son was silent, for he could not ask at all. His brown eyes were bright with wonder, as his father told him all. My dear children, heed the lesson, and remember evermore what the father told his children, told his sons at number 4. Great singing, everybody. We are back on page 19. And Diana, you're the next one to read. We're at the top of the page.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
I'm going to read this time.
Okay.
Our recounting of the Passover story begins in the time of Abraham. Abraham heeded God's call, leaving behind the pagan life of idol worship. Yet, after just a few generations, our ancestors read or go down to Egypt. Perhaps by use of such phrasing, Torah is hinting at a spiritual collapse that accompanied our descent into Mitzrayim. Beyond losing our physical freedom, perhaps we lost our inner freedom as well. Perhaps we lost our spirit, ourselves, yes.
Good. All right, Josh. The next one, at first.
At first, ancestors worshipped idols, but the omnipresent brought us near to her service. For it is written, This is the eternal God of Israel. Your fathers lived beyond the Euphrates River, and they worshipped other gods. Took your father Abraham from the other side of the river and led him through all the land of Canaan. He multiplied his family and gave him Isaac. To Isaac I gave Jacob and Esau. To Esau I gave Mount Seir to inherit. However, Jacob and his children went down to Egypt.
All right, though we were all distracted by what was happening behind you, thank you for reading. Anita is next.
I asked you to.
God, you can just okay, now you're on mute. Go ahead.
They went down to Egypt because there was a great famine in the land of Canaan. It was Jacob's son, Joseph, whom Pharaoh had appointed second in command over his kingdom, who gave our ancestors the most fertile land in all of Egypt. They became wealthy and their clan grew exponentially. For it is written, they became very, very mighty, and the land was filled with them. When we went to Egypt, it was a promised land. We prospered, enjoyed the good life, and grew into a powerful nation.
Thank you. Linda.
So on page 19, tell me where we are.
Perhaps one challenging.
Okay, perhaps one challenging aspect of the human condition is that when life is good on the outside, our inner life tends to get neglected. When our focus becomes excessively entangled with the material dimension of our lives, we lose consciousness and disconnect from spirit.
Okay, Rich. At the bottom of the page, Rich.
It's Stephanie.
Oh, Stephanie's here. Hi. And Stephanie. Go ahead, Stephanie.
So which paragraph are we on?
Bottom of page 19.
Okay. Outer circumstances have a way of abruptly changing. In Torah, immediately following the description of the Israelite success, we read, a new king arose over Egypt who did not know Joseph.
All right, Rich, top of page 20. Someone's playing music. Can you mute your phone, please?
Hi, Mother.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Rich, go for it.
All right. Fear drove Pharaoh to oppress us, and he said to his people, look, the Israelite people are too numerous for us. Let us deal shrewdly with them so that they may not increase. Otherwise, in the event of war, they may join our enemies in fighting against us.
All right, Lynn.
Perhaps our own inner Pharaoh is that fear that closes our heart, fear that leads us to see others as enemies, fear that erects increasingly thicker walls until we find ourselves ensconced in our own Mitzrayim, our own constricted space.
Thank you. Shelley.
The Egyptians oppressed us and laid heavy labors upon us. We cried out to the Eternal One, the God of our ancestors, and the Holy One. I'm getting a message from. And the Holy One heard our voice and saw our suffering, our burden, and our oppression. The Eternal brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand, with an outstretched arm and awesome power, and with signs and wonders.
Wonderful. Marianne.
There is
We
no
start with the plagues.
Yeah, there is no mention of Moses in traditional Haggadot. Our sages explain that we are not to see Moses as our redeemer, so as not to project on the outside the inner powers to free ourselves. They stress, therefore, that it is the divine presence itself that frees us from Egypt.
Thank you. Elizabeth.
We understand, however, that the myth of our exodus meets us at different levels. With the intention of discovering the inner dimensions of this process, we posit that all the characters in the story represent aspects of ourself. We are the Pharaoh, we are Pharaoh, we are the Egyptian oppressors, we are the Hebrew slaves, and we are Moses.
Michelle, back at you.
Pharaoh acted against us out of fear. If Pharaoh represents the energies of fear and constriction within us, Moses represents their opposite. Moses embodies energies of open-heartedness, of deep trust, of immovable faith, of release, of letting go, and of freedom. Moses represents the aspect of self that is already free, redemptive energies of the I of the first promise, of the first cup of wine, to which we might awaken.
All right.
Through the 10 plagues, Moses and Pharaoh, the energies of trust and of fear, respectively, go back and forth in a powerful clash between liberation and enslavement. Moses demands, "Let my people go, that they may worship in the wilderness." But fear can't let go. Venturing into the unknown and through the unpredictability of wilderness is terrifying to the part of self that thrives on the comfort of habits and steadfast rhythm of regularity, even when that itself is slavery.
Amen, amen. We are on page 22, everybody. I hope you have a little wine left or a little juice left in your cup. We're going to call out the 10 plagues, and each plague, we're going to add a drop of wine with our finger into our plate. So we're going to unmute everybody so that we can all call the plagues together. So, all right, ready, everybody?
Ready.
Down. There are so many plagues that we could name tonight, and I'm going to let you do that on your own, but we need to continue because we are running up behind page 23. We are on page 23, and I think it was
No, we're not muted.
We are on page 23 at the top, and Julia is going to read.
Abby, you skipped me.
Oh,
Just kidding.
Abby, just kidding. I was looking at Julia, but it was Abby I was looking at.
With release from our fears and by stepping into the freedom of the oneness of being that we share, we find energies of exuberant gratitude for every miraculous moment bursting forth from within us. Dayenu means it would have been enough for us. As the song we are about to sing relates, if God had only something, it would have been enough for us. And yet at each moment, God provides us with more and more and more. By noticing that we are continually showered with abundance, we cultivate a practice of gratitude.
And we can do that right now. I know that we are all confined to our homes, and it's been a long time since we've had to do that. But we have to really also open our hearts to, with gratitude, with what our state has been able to do, what our leadership at the state has been able to do, the seriousness with which our government here, our local government, has taken this coronavirus and has helped us, slow the curve. The gratitude for all the healthcare workers here that and everywhere really that every day are risking their lives to save lives. The gratitude for the wise school attendants that have taken made difficult decisions early on to keep our kids out of school and safe. Gratitude for the food that we are still able to get, that the amazing infrastructure here in Washington State and all around us and wherever you are that allows you to keep going, to have a life still unfold. Gratitude for this community of ours that is able to come together on a night such as this and to support each other in so meaningful and beautiful ways. There are so many reasons to be grateful for today. There's so many more reasons to be grateful than to feel sad or victimized or all the other feelings that we've probably have all been feeling over the last few weeks of being stuck in our homes. So I want us to connect to that gratitude inside all of us, and to sing this this song with that in mind. Ilu hotzi hotzianu hotzianu meimitzayim hotzianu meimitzayim dayenu 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 Okay, we fill the cup of the person next to us for the second kiddush, and fill your own cup, imagining that I am filling your cup instead. Here, fill my cup. Good, thank you. Okay, I want us to turn to the middle of page 25. We're going to say the blessing over wine. We're going to say the kiddush together. So we're going to unmute everybody for that in the middle of page 25. Said together, you see in the middle where it says the second cup, that's where we all read together. Join me. The second cup
corresponds to the second province.
Meditates upon the second stage as the realization from within
in the depths of one's being of the unity of all.
We say the blessing together. All right. Words for the second rachza at the bottom of page 25. Ready for the song? Kadesh No, not yet, not yet. Not yet. We're almost there.
Almost there.
All looking for water.
Okay, at the bottom of the page, join me for the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai. We are on top of page 26. We're going to add another couple words to our song. Ready? Kadesh your hearts. And I think we are with Kate. Kate would start reading at the top of page 26.
Julia. No, it's Julia.
Oh, is it Julia? Julia, yeah, Julia first.
Everybody again, unmute them.
Where are we?
Oh, is this that thing where we sing a little bit? Oops. Oh my God.
Julia, we're on top of page 26. Go for it.
Okay. This matzah that we eat, what is the reason for it? It is because the dough of our ancestors did not have time to rise, to become chametz before God revealed himself to them and redeemed them.
All right, thank you. Kate.
It teaches us that if we want to achieve freedom, we cannot just sit back and let nature take its course. Matzah is both the bread of slavery and the bread of freedom. Reb Nachman of Wroclaw taught that the bread itself did not change, but its taste did.
Wonderful. All right, either Diana or Nathaniel, whomever wants.
I'm having a hard time unmuting them.
Okay, hang on.
Working. Yeah, I can't unmute them. So let's skip them and we'll come back to them. The next.
Oh, we're here. We're here. Hi. Hello.
There you are. Good.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Matzah is the bread of faith, lechem emunah. As we eat this matzah, may it give us the faith to break out of the cycle of fear and begin to trust. May it give us the strength to reach out in peace to the other.
All right, so find 3 matzot, all the 3 matzot that you had at the beginning. We have them in our little, very fancy little thing that our kids did a long time ago in kindergarten. Or Mary Grace might remember this. We're still using it. And so we hold all of them. Actually, why don't you take them out? And we say together, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. And then we take the middle one, the one in the middle, and the one at the top, and we raise them and we say, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al achilat matzah. Okay, so you make an empty matzah sandwich, a little piece of one matzah and a little piece of the other one, and everybody get those 2 pieces. There's nothing in between, but that's what we eat. And you can, as soon as you have them in your hands, lean to the left and enjoy matzah. We continue with the Marok. So we are on top of page 27. Everybody unmute. We get all our mics unmuted to sing the next word. Everybody take a little maror. We have horseradish here. To put that with a matzah.
It was for me.
Some charoset. So we have this kind of looking thing.
Some of this.
Horseradish over there. Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Then you put some
Like this.
Whoa.
With your horseradish, matzah, your charoset.
Whoa.
Oh.
And we're gonna give it 30 seconds and then we're gonna okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al achilat maror. Enjoy. Okay. Woo! That's fun. All right, we're gonna unmute everybody again.
Oh.
Dinner?
And we're gonna do one more word. Kadesh.
Really good. I like it.
Take a set of pieces of matzah, a little lettuce, and the charoset again.
I thought we were gonna do that now.
A little lettuce and a little charoset. I got it from here. Like this. All right, I'm going to read in the middle of page 27. Korech means to bind together. We eat this sandwich in memory of the sage Hillel, who ate matzah and maror together. To Hillel, slavery and freedom were merged in one historical event. In times of freedom, we must not forget the bitterness of slavery. In time of oppression, we must keep alive the hope of freedom. Zecher למקדש כהלל, כן עשה הלל בזמן שבית המקדש היה קיים, היה כורך פסח ומצה ומרור ואוכל ביחד, לקיים את מה שנאמר על מצות ומרורים יאכלו הוא. Al matzah umaror yuchlu u. We eat the sandwich. Okay. It looks like we're about an hour behind what I thought would happen. It's Passover. It's once a year, so we're going to keep going. We're on top of page 28. So we're going to sing this last word that completes this first part. Then everybody will have dinner. And as you have dinner, you will be put back into your special groups, into your, back to your table. And I invite you during this 30 minutes, we're going to leave it for 30 minutes, to keep talking and revisit the different questions that I have asked. Whatever you've left undone, unfinished from your conversations, you can revisit them again. So on top of page 28, we unmute everybody for, again, and we'll give you a 1-minute warning before we come back. So there's about 15 to 20 minutes to complete the Seder after that. So we're hoping you can still join us. We're gonna sing a couple songs and say the last blessings. And most importantly, we're going to count the Omer. The first day of the Omer is tonight. All right, so Shulchan Orech, this is where we are. Enjoy your dinner. Enjoy talking to your friends around the table for 30 minutes. We'll see you in exactly 30 minutes. 8:25 right now. Starting at 8:50. And you'll get the 1 minute. Get to that moment. So we'll see you in 30 minutes.
Automatically send you all back.
Oh, wait, breakout room 7.
Because I want to say goodbye to our original breakout room. To our breakout room.
Hi, which breakout room were you in?
Well, we just got put in 7, which wasn't our breakout room. I think we were in 16 before with Celia.
Okay, let me move you. I think I can do that.
Oh, that would be cool.
A bunch of people coming back. Okay, but I can move you.
Thank you.
If I think, hang on. Let's see.
No, that's not us.
No, I haven't moved you back yet.
Okay, I see. It's just the way everybody's showing up.
I'm still working on it.
Not everybody got me.
Thank you for your work.
Yeah, no problem. I think some people like join, like, did you guys leave and come back?
Yes, I just have to, I left my small group because I'm in the Eastern time zone and I have to check out. So
Okay.
Thank you very much. I wanted to say thanks and goodbye.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, it's very late there.
Hag Sameach.
Right there. Okay, yeah, you are in. I will move you.
What did you do?
Just the serving spoon to my plate.
Oh.
It's fine.
Okay, I think I'm sending you back to the other one.
Thank you.
Yep.
Trying to get another spoon, but I don't.
Okay, cool. Hi, Carol. Did I put you in the wrong? You left and came back and I didn't know what to put you in. Hang on. I got to unmute you. I can't hear anything you're saying. Yep. I can't unmute you. You got to do it yourself.
I got it. Sorry. So what happened was I went to a different chat group than the first one, which was fine. But I'd like to go back to the first one because my chat group, everybody had to go. So I'm alone.
Tell me which one you were in the first time.
With a dentist and, oh gosh, someone who was a teacher at a school. Oh God, maybe I can scroll through and figure it out.
Let me see, Dennis.
Yeah, there was a dentist. He's in Orlando, Florida.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, he might have left. I bet he left because yep.
East Coast.
Yeah, he was the guy on the East Coast that left.
Okay. Oh, because it's much later for him anyway.
Yeah. And I don't know who the other people you were with were.
It was just one other person. So she.
Oh, so she might be stuck by herself now.
She's by herself too.
Which room? And you don't know what number it was?
5. I think it was number 5.
Oh, number 5.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's nobody else in number 5 except you.
Oh.
So,
okay, is there someone who's available?
Yeah, I can stick you in another group.
Just stick me in another group.
Okay, I will stick you in another group.
Thank you.
Yep.
Those raisins.
All right, I'm moving you. You should be going somewhere else.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
You might have to move yourself.
Oh, I have to move myself. How do I do that?
I don't know. Do you see like a thing somewhere that says join breakout room?
No.
Find you there because it says you're assigned to a room but not yet joined.
Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on. No, it says they're having dinner coming back at some point in time.
Yeah, no, that's just here. But there should be something that says
it says I am viewing your screen and
yeah, because you're just in the main room.
Yeah. Hang on, let me see if view stream, copy streaming link, share screen, leave meeting. Should I leave? No, then I'm leaving you guys completely.
You don't want to leave the meeting.
No.
There's no option about join a breakout room.
I'll try. I'm viewing your screen.
Yeah.
And no, exit, no, side by side, live on custom streaming service. Hang on. View, no. I don't see anything about going to another screen.
I don't know how to make it send you there.
Oh, yes. Hang on. It says join breakout room.
Yeah, do that.
Okay. I've been assigned to room 4. See you.
Yeah. Okay. Have fun.
Yeah. It's definitely.
Good, honey. Thank you. You want to go to the one that shows all the people?
Yeah, but like she's like,
oh,
so creative.
Oh my God, that's everyone.
No, that's just all who are on so far.
And that was everyone that
Definitely a lot less. I wonder if
you have enough dinner.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish some more.
was still on.
They're still on
Oh,
Welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
I hope you all had an enjoyable dinner together. Separate together. We are on page 28. And we're going to close this night together with a few blessings and a couple songs. Some of my favorite songs and a couple glasses of wine, which doesn't hurt anyway. All right. So join me on with one more word, safud, to our song. Kadesh Urchatz Karpas Yachatz Magid Rachza Motzi Matzah Maror Korech Shulchan Orech Safud. And I hope Kate is still here so that Kate can continue reading. I think it was her turn.
Was it?
It was.
Okay, I have to run and get my thing. Just a minute.
All right.
I'm barely still here, but yes, okay. Page what?
We are on page 28 of the top. Well, yeah, somewhat of the top.
Okay. Hasidic masters treat the Greek word afikoman as the Aramaic afikoman, meaning make the manna come out. For the people in the desert, there was no word for the strange apparition. Everyone said to his neighbor, "What is it?" And so they called it, "What is it?" Or manna.
Very good. All right. Diana or Nathaniel, either one of you.
You want to do it? All right. Hold on.
Okay. Thus, for 40 years in the
Wait, are we?
Yeah, this is it. That's it.
Okay, cool.
All right. Sorry.
Thus, for 40 years in the desert, the Israelites ate. What is it? To be free is constantly to remain as witness to our experience, not to be grabbed up immediately in ideological, prefabricated meaning. Being free means we retain an attitude of questioning so as to be capable of seeing in the world. Every day, the dawn that begins anew.
All right. We are on page 38. And we shared the song, Don't Sit on the Afikoman.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oops.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
My
dad every day to break the matzah piece in two and hides the afikoman half a din for me and you. Find it, hold it, ransom, learn the Seder isn't through till the afikoman's gone. Don't sit on the afikoman. Don't sit on the afikoman. Don't sit on the afikoman, or the Seder will last all night. When your daddy did it, fell on a chair, but just as I rushed over mine, Sophie sat down there. She threw herself upon it, awful crunching filled the air, and crumbs flew all around. Don't sit on the afikoman. Don't sit on the afikoman. Don't sit on the afikomen, for the Seder will last all night. There were matzah crumbs all over. Oh, it was a messy sight. We swept up all the pieces, though it took us half the night. So if you want to Seder any sooner than the light, don't sit on the afikomen. 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 All the Seder will last all night. All right, middle of page 28. Kadesh orchatz, karpas yachatz, magir rachza, motzi matzah, maror korech, shulchan orech, zafun barech. All right, for that we need to have all the mics unmuted. And if you know the Birkat Hamazon, blessing after meal, please join me. Rai nevarech. Yehi Shem Adonai mevorach melcha ve'adolam. Bereshut Maranan v'Rabanan v'Rabotai. Nevarech Eloheinu she'achalnu mishelo. Right, on top of page 30.
Sounds like a round.
We have the third cup. The third cup corresponds to the third promise. I will liberate you. And so we fill the cup of the person next to you.
Really hard to drink.
Oh, wait.
You want some juice or some?
Okay. You have to pour in a little more, because otherwise it's like not.
All right, at the bottom of page 30, we say the blessing together as we are all unmuted. Sam, please. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Chaim.
Go ahead, drink.
All right.
They went through that quick.
And now everybody is muted again, except Josh. We are on top of page 31, Josh. Yeah.
Elijah's cup. I will bring you out into the land. You would return once.
Hang on, wait, Josh, wait. Everybody's.
Hey, Josh, wait a minute. There's
just wait.
Please mute yourselves.
Okay. Mute all and then unmute Josh is what I need to do. Hang on.
Absolutely.
Okay, Josh, you're unmuted. Go ahead.
Hey, everybody. Elijah's cup corresponds to the fifth promise. I will bring you out into the land. Elijah declared that he would return once in each generation in the guise of any poor or oppressed person, coming to people's doors to see how he would be treated. By the treatment offered to the poor person, Elijah himself, he would know whether the population had reached a level of human capability of participating in the dawn of the Messianic age.
Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimehera Beyamenu, Yavo Elenu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. All right, and we add another word to our song. Everybody unmute now, please, Sam. Add the Hallel. Hallelujah, hallelujah,
I mean, what they could do. Yeah, well,
all
pushing
right.
it, but they could.
Here with us, we are on top of page 32, and while Anita is reading, we fill each other's cup for the fourth cup. Is Anita still here? Maybe Anita is no longer here.
It looks like they're here, but I'm having trouble finding them. Anita, are you here? I think they might be here, but stepped away from the computer or something.
Okay, so what about Linda? Linda is raised her hand. I can see.
Yep.
Linda, can you read at the top of page 32, please?
The fourth cup corresponds to the fourth promise. I will take you for me as a people. This is the cup of awakening, the realization that we are but a manifestation of the Holy One of all being, one with all that is. This is the ultimate liberation. Freed from the illusion of our separate sense of self, we awaken to the infinite I amness that we are.
All right, we raise our cup and we say together, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei v'ri'ah. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
All right, one more word, the last word of our song. Kadesh Urchatz, Karpas Yachatz, Magid rachza, motzi matzah, maror korech, shulchan orech, tzafun barech, halel nirtzah. All right, before we close with the counting of the Omer on page 33, there's one more song I'd like us to do. On page 38, our Passover things. To the tune of My Favorite Things. Ready? Cleaning and cooking
and so many dishes. Out with the chametz, no pasta, no knishes. Fish that get filtered, horseradish that stains. These are a few of my favorite things. Matzah and karpas and chopped up fagos legs, shank bones and kiddush and
Yiddish neurosis.
and tegel kvetches and ungaloo stages. These are a few of my favorite things.
No, when the plague strikes, when the lies bite, when we're feeling sad, we simply remember our Passover and then we don't feel so bad. Motzi and maror and truffle with carrots, salmon and locust and six of real barrels, doubles floating and angels like flames. These are a few of our Passover things. When the plague strikes, when the lights when we're feeling sad, we simply remember our Passover things, and I don't feel so bad.
That was Anita, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for all of you who have stayed with us so late into the night. Thank you for journeying with us out of Egypt. As you can see, there was a lot of ups and downs and trying to figure things out. Again, we did our best, and we're dealing with completely new territory and new technology. So hope you forgive us. I hope it was meaningful to you. I hope your conversations in your groups were meaningful and heart-opening. And I hope you get to meet a few new people that you didn't know before. We hope to see you maybe tomorrow night back here in our house for Shabbat, and maybe online at noon, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday for our meditation. Thank you, everybody. We're going to finish. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere yet. This is the most important part. We said the counting of the Omer. We enter into a 49-day deepening of, counting, making every day count. And we might be stuck in our house, maybe not, hopefully not, for the next 49 days. So we'll travel and we make this journey together. Actually, my intention is to have every day counting of the Omer as part of the meditation at noon. And we'll go through the Kabbalistic tree of life that actually follows those 7 weeks. So we'll use the Kabbalistic tree of life for each of our meditation every day based on the counting of the Omer. So maybe join us. We'll continue. Tomorrow is the last one of our meditation on, we are meditating on love this week, but next week we'll start with meditation with the counting of the Omer, Kabbalistic practices. On the second day of Passover, I am on top of page 33. An Omer, a sheaf of barley, was brought to the temple as an offering. Shavuot, which comes in 49 days later, commemorates the giving of the Torah and the beginning of the wheat harvest. Tonight, we begin counting off these 49 days. Our freedom from slavery is not complete until we receive Torah, the blueprint of our way. So please unmute everybody, Sam, so we can say the blessing together. Excuse me. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav Shabbat haomer. Blessed one,
And you are the
the emptiness that
fastest
Source of all
of all that is.
was this practice.
counting.
Hayom Yom Chag HaOmer. Amen. Shana Abaa b'Yerushalayim. Here in Jerusalem. Place of Omer. Chag Sameach, everybody.
Chag Sameach.
8 days of Passover. Thank you to Sam for all the hard work today.
Yes. Sam.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Sam.
Do a chat.
Good job, Sam. Thank you.
Thank you guys for the
Without you, Sam.
experience.
No.
Fabulous, Sam.
Thanks, Amalia, wonderful to see you.
Yeah.
It was so good to virtually see you as well. I miss you guys. Yeah.
We're leaving the platform open for another few minutes. If you guys want to chat together,
Did you get anything from
check your screen in gallery view again.
We're about to get kicked off.
Well, that's why.
Hey, Leor.
Hey, Leor.
Barbers are closed, Leor.
About time, Leor. See you,
Yeah.
Leor.
Who's that?
Hi to Amy wherever she's hiding.
Hi, Amy.
Hey, whole family's here.
I remembered what it was. It was romper room. Does anybody remember romper room?
Oh my God,
Oh
yes.
my God!
It's been an entire Passover later.
We were so happy to have you in our house tonight. Thank you for joining us in our house.
Thank you
For inviting us into your home.
We love you guys. We miss you all. Love and kisses.
Jerusalem.
Philip from driving home.
Go to the bottom.
I'm in Philip from Colombia. Right there.
You don't have
South of the wall, that's us.
Email says 59.
Bye from south of the wall.
This is amazing.
Look at that. This is fun.
We wouldn't be
Fun.
He was going to say for her.
Thank you.
Hi, Deborah. Celebrate with you, Deborah.
I'm not hanging out. It's fun.
Shoshana, we love meeting you. Come back again.
Anyone want to come visit, just get a hold of us.
All right.
Oh my God.
Rabbi can fill you
6
in.
degrees of separation is 6 feet of separation.
I have it here.
Pinchas, you're from Jerusalem. You switched to the ocean.
It's sunset time.
Wait a minute.
Sunset.
Instead of 6 degrees of separation, it's 6 feet of separation.
Exactly. Exactly.
So good to be with you all.
Yeah.
Stay healthy.
It's been really fun.
Stay meditating.
Bye, everybody. Miss you lots. Hopefully, we'll see you
Sam.
soon.
Oh, the meeting's still going.
Here's Sam.
My computer will die. Yeah.
Good night, everybody. So good to see everybody.
So nice to see all your beautiful faces.
Help and chat.
I love the way you phrase it.
Yeah, we're gonna be the last one.
Okay. I'm gonna leave.
Every religion has some part of it which is focused on.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Olivier.
Hi. Good to see you
Oh,
and your
yeah.
family there.
You.
Sometimes it gets.
It's been really, really great.
Here's Greg. Hi, Greg.
Oh, hi.
So good to have everybody.
All right, thanks. Goodbye, everybody.
Olivia.
Bye.